Light is a cheerful teenager who has always dreamt of becoming a successful adventurer so that he can give his family a life of luxury. To achieve his goal, he leaves his small village and heads to the city to register as an adventurer. But things are not easy for him. In this world, the goddess created 9 races and humans are considered the lowest among them. As a result, they are always at the receiving end of racism, and Light experiences that as soon as he steps foot in the city. A beastman adventurer rudely tells him to get off the road, and Light can only apologize, even though he wasn't really blocking his way. Anyway, once he reaches the guild, he registers himself as an adventurer, and the receptionist tells him that newcomers like him receive the F rank initially. She asks if he has a gift that can play a role in his assessment, and Light eagerly affirms. He tells her that his gift is called Unlimited Gacha and he can basically pull stuff out of his since explaining is not enough. Light decides to demonstrate and summons his gacha device, which he immediately activates. The gacha rolls out a fork card, and as Light releases the card, a fork materializes on the table. However, the fork is all bent up and Light panics. He tells the receptionist that things usually work out better and immediately uses his skill a couple of times, but the result is similar. He pulls a rotten apple and a moldy bread, which makes the receptionist convinced that this loser deserves nothing more than frank. Light gladly receives it and then asks her if there are any jobs he can take right away. The receptionist points him towards the bulletin board where all the easy jobs are posted, but Light gets nervous just upon seeing that. The receptionist realizes that Light is illiterate on top of being a loser. But that part is not a surprise because humans have low literacy rates. She tells him that he can do the basic stuff like carrying rocks and gathering wood, but that pays a lot less than other jobs. Light accepts that, and after a day of working his off, he manages to get enough money to rent a room. He still needs to rely on his gacha skill for food, but he is confident that he can make it. However, a gang of beast men has another plan for him, and they stand in his way deliberately so that he bumps into them. Their leader immediately begins yelling at Light for bumping into him and getting his clothes dirty. Before taking away his purse, Light panics, asking him to return the money because he won't have a place to stay otherwise, but the wolfman simply punches him away, telling him that he needs to pay for his laundry. The beast men leave lying in a puddle of mud, and everyone who passes by tells him to sleep in the dirty slums with the rest of the humans. Light feels really hopeless at this point, but then suddenly, someone stretches a helping hand towards him. He instinctively takes the hand of the pretty elf in front of him, but realizes 1 second later that his own hand was covered in mud. Light falls back, apologizing to the elf for dirtying her hand, but she tells him that it is fine. She assures him that she won't hurt him. But years of racism and discrimination doesn't let him believe that. To prove her point, the elf woman suddenly kneels down and hugs him, and Light is left speechless. Even as the people on the road mock the elf for stooping so low for the sake of a human, she helps Light back on his feet. Behind the elf, there is a group with people from different races, and they introduce themselves as the party named Concord of Tribes. They explain that they are a party formed with one member from each species that the goddess created, and they were missing a human. The beast man Garu introduces himself first, followed by the elf woman Sasha, who tells Light about the rest of their members. There is Drago the Dragonuda, the demon Diablo, the Oni Abaro, the dark elf, the dwarf Nano, and the centaur named Santer. Guru says that they were just looking for a human to complete their party. And then Cyan adds that they created this party to end racism and create a world where everyone is treated equally. Light finds this too good to believe, but he can't pass up on such a wonderful-seeming party, and he gladly joins the Concord of Tribes. Soon they start going on adventures, and Light is the weakest link in their team. He needs to be rescued from monsters by Drago and Sasha, who tell him to be more careful as one hit from the monsters will kill him. Light apologizes for his carelessness, but Sasha begins to examine him for injuries while telling him to stay behind them at all times. The rest of the party begins to tease Sasha because she is low-key obsessed with Light and cares about him a lot. And she turns red as she explains that she only sees him as a party member. Light feels useless because he can't do anything apart from carrying the luggage. But Drago tells him that he makes delicious tea and that is good enough for him. Light is really happy to hear this, and he cheerfully follows the team deeper into the dungeon. Soon they come to an open space with only one entry and exit, and the party members look at each other before deciding that this is the perfect place for their plan. Unaware of what the plan is, Light begins preparing to brew tea for everyone when Drago approaches him and tells him that he is being fired from the party. Light can't even process that statement and asks what did he even do to get kicked from the party, and the beastman Geru tells him that he is being fired because doesn't do anything. Everyone tells Light how useless and stupid he is, and even Sasha acts disgusted at him. The rest of the party start throwing insults at Light and the human race. Light thinks that this has got to be some kind of prank, but they tell him that no one has got free time to play pranks on a worthless piece of trash like him. He asks why they were behaving so nicely with him till now in that case, and they reply that it was just acting. Drago tells him that their superiors noticed his gift Unlimited Gacha and thought that he could be a maestro. That's why they ordered the Concord of Tribes to keep a close eye on them. But once they determined that Light's gift was worthless and he couldn't be a maestro, they gave the signal to dispose of him. Sasha is the one who is most relieved that they no longer have to keep Light around, because if he was actually a maestro, she would have to marry him. And just the thought of that creeps her out. Light can't understand what the word maestro even means. But then Drago says that they have told him more than enough and they need to finish him off before more adventurers come here. Gao immediately apes Wolverine and draws his metal claws, using them to slice Light's face. Only now does Light realize that he is really in deep and there is no way out of this problem. In his desperation, he runs away as fast as he can, and the racist bastards laugh at him, saying that they are not going to let him get away. Sasha shoots an arrow through his leg, and as Light falls on the ground and starts screaming. The racist elves say that hearing human screams is like music to their ears. Guara decides to make Light scream some more and begins assaulting him, but Drago tells him to stop because they need to make it look like the human died from a monster ambush. Guaru obeys his orders and gets ready to finish him off, but Light crawls forward, desperately clinging to his life. Suddenly, the ground beneath him starts glowing and Light realizes that he is in the middle of a teleportation circle. Drago notices it too and orders Gao to finish him off quickly. But before he can reach Light, the teleportation circle does its job and takes him away. However, the situation doesn't get much better for Light. Even after he is saved from the backstabbing traders, the teleportation trap takes him to a random location in the dungeon, and he knows that the moment a monster finds him, he is dead. He begins to remember his family as he wonders what did he do to deserve being betrayed. He thinks about how nicely everyone treated him before they decided to backstab him. He now understands that their kind behavior was just an act, so he would completely believe them, and they showed their real colors at the end. He is really furious and channels his rage to become a reason to survive. He gets up swearing that he will get revenge on those bastards and tear them apart with his own hands. Well, before he can throw out more cuss words at them, Light hears a low growl coming from behind him. And as he turns around, he finds a level 1000 monster glaring at him. He freaks out on seeing the monster because it is something straight out of a fairy tale. Light realizes that he was teleported to the lowest floor of the dungeon and he low-key had a better chance of surviving his party than this monster. As he wonders how could he even fight the monster, his thoughts wander to his gift Ultimate Gacha and he decides to take his chances. He begins pressing the Gacha button repeatedly and then suddenly his ordinary gift transforms into something beyond his wildest imagination. A giant magic circle appears below him and the Gacha device starts undergoing a power-up. Light doesn't understand anything, but just as the monster leaps on him, the Gacha roll is completed. A level 9099 maid servant appears out of it and demolishes the monster in an instant. Everything is over before Light could even blink. And then the aura-farming maid starts walking towards him. She kneels before him and instantly heals his wounds, telling him that she could not bear to see him silky smooth skin being injured. So, she healed him without asking for permission. Light can't believe that he is perfectly fine now. And then the maid asks him for his name. He introduces himself as Light and the maid gets really happy on learning his name. She pledges by the maid's code of honor, swearing to serve him till death. Light tells her that it is all cool, but she should at least give her name first. The girl introduces herself as May, the ever-seeking maid, and tells Light that she came from a super-ultra-rare card in his Unlimited Gacha. Well, Light refuses to believe that a level 9A99 maid would come out of his worthless gift, but May asks permission to use her appraisal skill on his gift, so read the finer details. He immediately grants her the permission, and May uses her sharing in to find that his abilities are hidden under a very strong concealment, and anyone below her level can't even see them. She tells Light that his Ultimate Gacha is much more useful than he thinks. The cards it rolls highly depend on the mono density of his location. And as it turns out, there is another rarity class beyond May's super ultra rarity. May explains that the mana density of the surface is really poor, but in the depths of the dungeon, the air is full of mana, which allowed her to pull her. She commends Light's bravery in coming to the depths of the dungeon alone to unleash the full potential of her gift. And he tells her that he is a loser who couldn't even get near the dungeon on his own. He begins crying as he tells her how his party betrayed him in the dungeon. He starts whining and about how they promised they wanted to create a world free of discrimination just to trick him, and then swears to get vengeance on them. May suddenly hugs him, saying that she can't understand what he has been through, but she will do whatever he wants, and destroying the bastards who hurt him won't be too difficult for her. However, Light tells her that she can't do it, and it is not because he is kind. He just wants to get revenge with his own hands, but it is not possible right now because he is too weak. He swears that he will make all of them suffer before killing them, and May kneels before him again, telling him that if he wants to grow strong enough to get revenge, she will help him with that. She tells him that she believes in his potential and Light can only thank her. However, he is not satisfied with just one overpowered baddie in his harem and decides to use the mana-rich environment of the dungeon even more. He uses his Unlimited Gacha again, summoning more high-class maids so that he can create a kingdom that will serve as the base for his grand revenge. After 3 years, we see Light walking in a castle surrounded by an army of maids that he summoned. And as he praises them for their work, they all start losing their minds. May asks for his permission to shut all of them up, but he knows they're just smitten by him, so he doesn't mind it. They go to the city where one of the citizens tells him they're running short on food. So, he assures them he will tell the administrator to take care of it. He asks May what the members of the quartet are up to. So, she notes that they're all trying to complete the missions they were assigned. She mentions a girl named Yuki is scouting the upper part of the abyss to make a map, and he knows the forests around the abyss are filled with monsters, but he doesn't think they will be a threat for a genius tamer like Yuki. He asks May about another girl named Ellie, and May tells him that she's working on creating the magic for his grand plan. So, he hopes that she won't be overwhelmed since they have a lot of things in motion. He also wonders what another girl named Nazuna is up to. So, May tells him she's on her normal job, which is to patrol the castle. As they go back to the castle, they see a man named Jack waiting, but May gets annoyed and tells him to address Light properly, but he doesn't mind it since he sees Jack like his older brother. They go to the training room, and before they begin fighting, Light mentions that he will attack with everything he's got. He rushes in and punches Jack in the stomach, which pushes him back. And he mentions that if it were anyone else that was hit by the punch, they wouldn't have survived. Meanwhile, Nazuna runs into some other maids who ask her if she's on her patrol, and she mentions it's an important job given to her by Light. So, they start praising her, which makes her happy. They ask her which area she will be patrolling next, but she hasn't decided. So they ask her to check out a spot for them because they're prohibited from entering it. Nazuna goes to Light's bedroom, and as she knocks on it, she's surprised to see May coming out. She wonders what Nazuna is doing there, and she notes that she was just patrolling the area, but May tells her to go somewhere else because the bedroom is safe. She asks May what she was doing while Light is away training with Jack. So she mentions it's against her code as a maid to do nothing even when her master isn't with her. So she was cleaning the room. But as Nazuna goes inside, she notices that the bed seems like someone just rolled around in it. So May notes that it's her unique bed-making style. Nazuna wants to know more about it, but May refuses to tell her anything, saying it's a trade secret, which impresses her. While May is glad that she isn't that bright. Nazuna gives May a message from the other maids, and as she starts reading them, May realizes they're all cursing her for not letting them into the bedroom. May tells Nazuna she doesn't need to worry about it, saying that as the head maid, she will talk to the others. And she gives Nazuna a few coins for doing her job, which makes her happy, and she tells May to ask her if she needs help with anything. Nazuna uses the money to buy snacks, and as she returns to the castle, she runs into Yuki. Nazuna wonders what she's doing there because she's supposed to be scouting the forest around the abyss. But instead of saying anything, she keeps meowing like a cat. So Nazuna notes that she can't understand her like Light. She wonders if Yuki is asking her for help in cutting down the trees in the forest, but she notes that there will be nothing to scout if there are no trees. Nazuna asks her if she ran into a strong monster, and she mentions that even though Yuki was summoned before her, she's still stronger and looks older. So Yuki shouldn't hesitate to depend on her. Yuki ends up speaking since Nazuna has no clue what she's trying to say, and she notes that she already completed the map, so she came back to deliver it. Nazuna pats her back and calls her a weirdo, saying she should have just said that from the beginning. And after that, she goes back on her patrol. Nazuna goes to Light's throne and she starts hugging it because she's sad that she hasn't seen him all day, but she ends up breaking a piece. So she puts it back and runs away. In the training room, Light and Jack decide to call it a day, and they go to the bathhouse where Jack mentions that only a few people in the dungeon can match up to Light, which means there are even fewer such people on the surface. But it doesn't mean there's no one who can defeat him. Light knows that there are a lot of unknown things in the world, so he won't let his guard down because he needs to see his revenge to the end. Meanwhile, Mei summons the 4 maids who complained about her through Nazuna, and she asks them if they know why they're in trouble, but they act like they have no idea what she's talking about. So, Mei reminds them about the messages they sent for her. They apologize to her, and she tells them to explain themselves. So they note that they know how busy she is, so they were just trying to help her, but she tells them that the worst part was that instead of saying everything to her face, they used Nazuna to get their feelings across. She rejects all their demands. And as a punishment, she assigns them to clean the hallways leading to the throne room with their hands. They think it's impossible, but she tells them she will be going to the surface in the near future to complete a mission. So, she hopes they will finish their jobs without causing any problems. We see Nazuna looking at a weapon in the city, hoping she can get her hands on it, but Ellie notices her and wonders if she's looking for candy. Nazuna asks her what she's doing there because she's usually too busy to do anything. So, she mentions that everything is going so smoothly that she had enough time to come back. She calls Nazuna a dimwit, which annoys her. So, to prove that she isn't an idiot, she tells Ellie she knows all the math tables, but she can't even get the first one right. They start arguing with each other. So, Ellie mentions that Light made her an important part of his grand plan. While Nazuna was just asked to patrol the castle, she notes that she even had tea with him to discuss their progress, and she plans to book them a private room the next time they meet. Nazuna gets jealous, saying she also wants to have tea with him, but Ellie is confused that that's the only part she's jealous about. She tells Ellie that since she's good at magic and bad at close combat fighting, she should ask for her help whenever she needs it. Meanwhile, the 4 maids are annoyed at why they got in trouble because they think it isn't wrong to complain against Mei's management style, but they know they can do nothing about it. They really want the opportunity to clean Light's room, but they don't understand why Mei doesn't let them do it, even though she's always busy. They know Mei was Light's first summon, and it took 3 months for Yuki to be summoned as the second maid, which means Mei had 3 months along with him. They start losing their mind thinking about how lucky she is. And they think that if they try hard enough, they might be able to turn their rage into a curse that will get rid of Mei. But she suddenly walks into the room. She tells them to explain what they were doing, but they have nothing to justify their actions. So, they just tell her that they're all loyal to her. She reveals that in the 3 months she was with Light, he only studied books and practiced martial arts. So, they had no time to do any of the things they're imagining, which puts them at ease. She mentions that she came there because she was feeling bad for being too harsh on them, but she realizes they haven't had enough. So, she tells them to clean the throne room as well. As they start the cleaning, they realize they won't be able to finish it even if they work all night. And one of them breaks off the piece of the throne that Nazuna broke earlier. Meanwhile, as Nazuna gets ready to sleep, she's still disappointed that she didn't see Light, and she wishes he would give her the permission to go to the surface and beat up everyone. The next day, Light sees Nazuna and Ellie arguing, but Nazuna gets excited after seeing him and wonders if he came to see her. He starts petting Yuki, which makes the others jealous, but he notes that he can't help himself from treating her like a cat. A level 1000 hellhound appears in front of them, and it still scares Light a little since it was the first monster he faced. So the rest of them get angry at it and they think they should eliminate all the hellhounds, which scares the monster, but Light tells them to calm down. They wonder why he summoned them. So, he mentions he got word from Mei and it's time to put his plan into action. This is the end of Backstabbed in a Backwater episode 2. Thank you so much for staying on this channel and watching our videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can keep you updated with our latest content. See you in the next video.